Okay, another Highland League Weekly Friday preview show today then. I've just realised that we never actually introduce ourselves on the Friday preview show. So I'm Ryan Cryle, if you don't watch the Monday show, don't know why you wouldn't. Callum Law here, Paul Third.
The Lackeys, as we're known.
How are we, guys?
Chuckle Brothers.
We're fine.
All right, and you?
All right. Anyway, so our main game for Highland League Weekly this coming weekend is, it looks tasty to me, for Martin United against Brora Rangers. Brora travelling down, I think they were down in the Shire in midweek as well.
Well,
so
they weren't, because Bucky's in Murray.
Oh, it's in Murray, okay. Well, it's close to the Shire, on the border. But another another trip for Brora. Is that going to play into this one, do you think? Or for Martin, had obviously had a decent start to the season as well. Brora protecting a 100% record so far.
I don't think the travelling makes a great deal of difference. Brora are used to that, and everyone has to deal with it. You know, for Martin, he'll have to go up to Dudgeon Park later in the season. But it's an interesting one, I think, because it's another sort of test of where for Martin are. They came up a wee bit short against Brechin at Glebe Park, and Brora, the other side, that have made a perfect start. So we'll see. I mean, for Martin, will be looking to compete again and hopefully pick up a positive result. But they've had a decent start themselves. 13 points out of a possible 18 is not bad by any means.
That is the consistency we've spoken about regularly that for Martin have probably been looking for. So yeah, it's going to be a tasty one, I think.
Am I right in saying that we filmed on Highland League Weekly a Brora defeat for Martin last season?
No, it was 4-4.
4-4.
Dale Gillespie scored
Start.
right at the end for to earn Brora drops between Christmas and New Year last week. And if it's half as exciting as that game, then the highlights will be worth watching on Monday night, because it was crazy, that game last season.
Good plug. Banks of D against Clacknacuddin. How'd you see this one going, Callum?
Well, if you look back to last Saturday, Banks of D, when they hit their stride, and particularly playing at home on their Astro, you know, it's maybe cliched to say, but they're the only team in the division with the AstroTurf Park. They've been a force on it for a number of years because they know how to play it better than anybody, use it to their advantage, and we saw last weekend they sort of steamrollered Keith. So I'm not suggesting it might be the same scoreline, but I would certainly make Banks of D favourites to win that. As for Clach, it's just, there's been good results, good performances already at points this season, but not really any consistency at all. I mean, Jordan McDonald was really unhappy last Saturday with their defeat to Turriff. Seemed like they were far more competitive against up at Wick on Wednesday, so you're kind of waiting to see what Clach's side turns up a wee bit.
Jamie Watt will be looking for a reaction from his players. I spoke to him after their 1-1 draw at Turriff on Wednesday, and I asked him, is this just part of the adjustment of playing in the Highland League, given you might have got away with not taking your chances as you did in the juniors? And he was like, no, I'm not having that. He says, we've got to be stronger. Some games you need to grind it out, and we should have been stronger. We can't give away cheap goals in the way we did. And the amount of chances they missed at the Hawks was remarkable. Honestly, it could have been about 4-1 to the visitors. In the first 20 minutes alone, it was just wave after wave. But if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, then you're always giving that other team hope. And that's I suppose, is the lesson they need to learn for this weekend.
Brechin City, one of our other 100% recorders. I should have put that word. They host Lossiemouth at Glebe Park on Saturday. Lossiemouth, the form team in the division. Big test for Brechin, this one.
Well, you would have to say so. 3 wins in the bounce. Lossie now, they're looking good. The Archibald brothers can't stop scoring as well, which bodes well for them. But I mean, on a serious note, you would still expect Brechin, especially at home, to win. But I mean, you never know with Lossie. And the one thing at Brechin as well, you probably will have to absorb spells of pressure and try and counter. But with the players Lossie have at the top end, like Sir Ross Archibald, Ross Elliott, Ryan Facher, these sort of players, they've all got pace. So we can, if you're having to play that sort of counter-attacking game, if you can stay in the game with that pace in the break, then you might have a chance.
Confidence is such a big thing in football, and if Lossie can't be going to Glebe Park with a degree of confidence after the week they've had, then they should never be going there. I think this is as good a chance as they're ever going to have of getting a result, I think, in terms of going into a game with a bit of momentum.
Freaking obviously had the boost as well in midweek going through in the SPFL Trust Trophy. I think we'll come back to that. Forest Mechanics, they host Keith this weekend. Forest had a brilliant start, and I don't know, with Brora for Martin, we're saying beforehand, Inverurie and Buckie playing each other, you know, there's maybe a chance there that teams up near the top around Forest drop points this weekend. You'd probably expect Forest to beat Keith, wouldn't you? And I don't know, how long are Forest going to stay with this top pack? Can they stay with them the whole season, do you think?
The head-to-head games are what's going to determine how high Forest can be in the league table, I think. I think they're good enough to take points from most of the teams in the division. They're a strong side, especially at home. But can they win or the results? Sorry, can they get results against the likes of Fraserburgh, Buckie, Brora? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. But in terms of this weekend, I would be expecting them to pick up 3 points.
I would agree with most of what you've said there, 30. I think really if we're given the start that Forest have had, if you want to make the progress they're looking to make this season, Saturday's the kind of game where you would expect to be winning, really.
Huntly against Devon Vale. Is this Huntley's win coming this weekend? The win they so need?
Well, it's difficult to say because, I mean, at the moment it kind of seems like everything that could go wrong for Huntly is going wrong. I mean, Greg Buchan, who I'm sure we'll come on to shortly, moving on to pastures new is a loss to them certainly. And then on Wednesday night against Fairmartin, they were leading 1-0, Gavin Elphinston scored, and then shortly before half time Fraser Hobday gets sent off. They then concede just right on half time and then lose a second at the start of the second half, and then before the finish James Conley gets himself sent off as well. So I mean, it's in terms of bad nights at the office, doesn't it really get much worse, does it? But I think the issue, well, you and Story will come in and goal, but the issue they might have on Saturday is they were light defensively anyway, so James Conley being suspended certainly doesn't help. Michael Clark has been back. Well, he came on Wednesday and played a bit of the 21s game on Monday night, but whether you can expect him to play 90 minutes yet when he's been out for quite a while, I'm not sure. So might be that for Alan Hale, attack's the best form of defence, just put all these forward players on, but we'll see. For the Vale, I mean, they've beaten 3-0 by Inverurie on Wednesday, but still they've had a decent start. There's been some good performances, some good results in there, and I think if you're a Devon Vale fan at the moment, you would fancy going up to Christie Park and winning.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Vale last weekend, Craig Stewart praised their grit and that amazing sort of draw they managed to pull out with the fire despite going behind in the, 91st minute? I recall. Inverurie Loco works against Buckie Thistle. I know we talked about Locos on Monday's show, that's a drab 1-1 with Fairmartin, but we've seen Locos put 5 past Rothes this season. Are they a threat to Buckie this weekend? I think it. Obviously, Buckie would go in as favourites, but I think it's a challenging one on paper.
Yeah, I could see Inverurie getting a result certainly, but again, it's a wee bit of which Inverurie turns up, because you can get them where, like the day against Rothes, where it all clicks in the final third and they can sort of go through any team, and you can get other days. Forest at home would probably be an example where they got beat, where they probably struggled to create opportunities. And again, it's a test of where Inverurie are this season, because last season played Buckie at home second half of the campaign and were beat 5-1, so clearly you will be looking for a lot better than that this time around. Blow for Buckie as well. Kevin Fraser sustained a groin injury on Wednesday night against Brora in the SPFL Trust Trophy, so it looks like they'll be out without him, and given the way he started the season, that's a big loss to them.
I'd be surprised if Buckie slipped up. I have to say, they lost last weekend at Brecon, and the idea of Bucky going back-to-back defeats in the Highland League would be quite a turn-up for the books. I think Locos will give him a game, but I think the Jags will come away with the 3 points.
Yeah. Nairn County against Fraserburgh now were criticised. I was criticised, I think. I presume they were talking about me last week for saying the Brock when it should be the Broch.
The Broch.
Did I get it right that time? This one looks like one where Fraserburgh going as heavy favourites. I mean, they probably always would at the moment, but Nairn.
Fraserburgh haven't historically enjoyed trips to Station Park.
Usually tight.
Yes, but Nairn don't seem to be enjoying being at home either so far this season. So it's probably a score draw. I don't know. Fraserburgh should win. Fraserburgh need to win because they're still having to make up those points that they've dropped to Bucky. But we'll see. I think Nairn will be right up for this one.
I think Nairn, maybe with a couple of exceptions, Forest at home being the obvious one. The performances this season haven't been too bad, but they haven't won yet, so you couldn't really say the results have been particularly good. But just, I mean, Ronnie Sharp's spoken about it, but it's like little things, game management, and just keeping a cool head and things like that, which make a difference. And we'll see if they can put that into practice on Saturday. But for Fraserburgh, Greg Buchan, he's returned to Bellsleigh for another stint, having left last summer, and you'd expect him to be an important player for them going forward, because he's probably, I think, the season he's had at Huntly last season did him good, played on a more regular basis than he perhaps was at the Broch, and where, although Fraserburgh have good options with Grant Campbell retiring, I could probably see Greg sort of becoming a regular in the middle of the park, playing him beside Paul Young.
Before we move away from Nairn County, you may have been following our social feeds in recent days and seen we're giving away Nairn County's third kit. At the end of this show, we will reveal who has won that charity third kit from the wee county, so keep your eyes peeled. Right, penultimate game to discuss, Rothes against Turriff United. Ross Jacks winners looking to build on their midweek result, but Turriff, as we've discussed all season long, and you saw Turriff on Wednesday night.
I was impressed by Turriff, I have to say. I would say they had to stay in the game for long spells against Banks of Dee, but give them their due. If you give Dean Donaldson's side a chance, or a sniff at goal, they take it, and they're going to make you work for it. Whatever game it is, they're going to make you work to beat them. And Rothes, with the guys they've got missing, I think Turriff will fancy their chances here.
One upshot for Rothes at Keith on Wednesday. Alan Pollock was back in starting, and I've spoken often enough, I think, already this season about the job he does for the Spaysiders, so having him back is a boost to them, certainly.
Okay, our second highlights game and the final game we're going to discuss today, Strathspey Thistle against Wick Academy.
We haven't seen Strathspey yet this season, so it'd be good to get a look at them on the camera, and
they'll be hoping the cameras give them a change of fortune, I think. And
I mean, we'll see. Obviously, Seafield Park as well are looking for their first win, so I think it's an interesting clash, because Strathspey looking to win. Wick haven't managed to win away from home yet. 100% at Harmsworth Park, but no points on the road, so they are looking to change that record. I think for Strathspey, they've scored 2 on Wednesday at Lossiemouth, didn't get anything. They scored 2 against Devonvale at home, got a draw. They've shown they can score goals. You know, Liam Taylor's come in on loan for Clark, he's done all right, got a couple, but need to try and tighten up at the back, because if you're having to score 2, 3, 4 to win games, makes it hard. You know, it makes it hard for yourself. So that's the sort of question mark I would have over them ahead of Saturday.
Prediction?
I'm going to go 2-1 Strathspey. So that'll be hate mail coming to me next week.
Wick still winless on the road, according to him. We didn't say it. Okay, as promised, we need to decide the winner of the Nairn County third kit that we've been giving away on at Highland League Weekly Twitter page. Thanks to everyone who entered. you'll see here a list of the 34 entrants who retweeted the post, followed at Highland LW, and tagged in 2 friends. I'm going to use, like we did for the Highland League Weekly World Cup Highland League home kits, Google's trusty random number generator. Check that out, by the way, if you haven't seen the World Cup of home kits. So, minimum 1, maximum 34. I'll hit generate. 21. So 21 is the winner. And 21 is, drum roll, I don't know how to say it, but it's Ooch Stokey. So congratulations to @Ooch Stokey on Twitter. Commiserations to everyone that wasn't lucky this time, but the good news is there'll be more giveaways to come in Highland League Weekly over the course of the season. So keep watching, keep your eyes peeled, and thanks again to everyone who entered. That's your Friday preview. Enjoy the games, whichever ones you're watching. Remember, main game for Martin United against Bora Rangers. We'll have a reaction from that one as well as the highlights, and the secondary game, Strathspey Thistle against Wick Academy.